Expectations that I have from the current budget, number one, GST has been pending for long and it's due time that it should be implemented. Next to bureaucratic hurdles that companies face, be it a C form, issuing of a C form, doing taxes, anything. So those should be minimized. Paperwork in all respects should be minimized to as minimum as possible.
As we know that today the world is going through a lot of slowdown, and under these circumstances what I expect from the government is to totally focus on driving growth, which will come from four different factors. One is that there has to be a lot of emphasis on consumption, on capital expenditure, on infrastructure, which includes 4 R's: road, rail, rivers and retail.
First and foremost, the kind of industry that we are in, major portion of our taxes is service tax. We are into the services business. So service tax is now, earlier the service tax was based on accruals. Now the government has changed the policy and it has become on billing. So once you bill, you're liable to pay a service tax. And if you delay the payment of service tax, there's interest on that. I think the service tax should, for startups especially, I'm not talking about established companies, for startups it should be based on accruals. That will really help them.
On taxation, I have basically there are two things. One is, of course, everyone's been saying that GST is a must. The other thing is that the service tax has to be amalgamated in GST, and service tax should also be made vatable, because nowadays a lot of services are taxed, and then even for the manufacturing sector, service tax becomes a very big component of the tax which is paid. On the direct tax front, I think there is a need to widen the tax bracket to lay equal emphasis on non-salaried employees, because today the entire brunt of direct taxation is borne by salaried employees, and we need to widen it, and we need to provide more income in the hands of salaried employees by increasing the minimum tax slabs, because we need to drive consumption, and this could be one of the measures. Well, for startup ecosystem, very broadly, one is of course that there has to be a ecosystem which facilitates easy implementation of ideas. Now this requires lesser controls, because I, being an entrepreneur, we've also gone through, especially in the manufacturing sector, there's a lot of approvals stages that you need to go through. And the other thing, most importantly, is access to easy finance.
First and foremost, they have announced a $1.5 billion fund. So, and it's supposed to be deployed over a period of 4 years. I would want to increase the fund, number one, and decrease the time period. So more funds, $1.8 billion approx has already been invested during the last 1 year. And government is saying $1.5 billion over a period of 4 years. So I think the amount needs to be increased and reconsidered.